Welcome to Tips for Success with Job Interviews. This video is designed for English language learners looking for work in the U.S. Interviewing is one of the most important parts of the job search process. As an English language learner, you may feel nervous going on job interviews. You may feel that you also do not know what to expect in an interview in the United States. If that's you, then this video will help you to learn more about what is expected from an interviewee and also provides you with some do's and don'ts of interviewing. So what's an interview like here in the United States? It's an opportunity to exchange information between you and the employer and to determine whether you are a good match for a position and for the company you are interviewing with. It's a focused business conversation, so there are some tips that will help you to be prepared for the style and format of a typical business interview. Here are 5 tips that will help you to improve your interview. Tip 1. Learn about the company before you go. If you want to make a good impression, show that you have done your homework on the company, that you've researched it, that you know its vision and its purpose. You can use the internet as a tool to help you search out for more information on the company. Tip 2. Come prepared to the interview. For example, have questions ready that you would like to ask the interviewer about the company. Also, bring along with you a copy of your resume so that the interviewer can learn more about your past experience. Tip 3. Be on time and be ready for the interview. If you have never been to the location where you are interviewing, print out directions and drive there the day before, just to make sure you know where you are going. Also, allow plenty of time for you to get there, just in case there is an unexpected traffic accident or any type of traffic. Tip 4. Make a strong first impression. This can be through how you dress and also your presence. Your clothes should be modest and formal business attire. Also, you should give a good solid handshake when you first meet the interviewer. And tip 5. Practice answering some of the most common interview questions beforehand. Again, you can use the internet as a search tool to find out the most common interview questions and practice your responses to these questions. Make sure that you answer the question fully as well. Now that you know 5 tips for improving your interview, here are 5 things you should avoid doing in an interview. First, avoid asking about salary and benefits at the first initial meeting. While some interviewers do not mind you asking these things, not all feel that it is appropriate on the first meeting. Tip 2. Avoid offending the interviewer with smell, dress, or anything like that. If you smoke, try to refrain from smoking right before an interview so that the smell does not linger on your clothing. Also, dress professionally. Avoid wearing flip-flops, open-toe shoes, and dress in a more business-style clothing. Tip 3 is to avoid being too humble. This is your time to talk about your accomplishments and not the time to discuss your insecurities or any qualities you feel you lack. Tip 4. Avoid talking badly about a previous employer. Try to maintain the focus on the qualities that you've gained that will help you in this next position. Tip 5. Avoid being too personal. It's better not to ask too personal questions of the interviewer or to give personal information about yourself. Now that you know some tips to help you improve your interviewing skills, let's listen to 2 professional interviewers as they talk about these tips, and also 2 successful interviewees, one who is a native speaker and the other who is a non-native speaker, as they share their impressions of the interview process in the United States. As you are listening for the first time, listen for comprehension. Then, play the video a second time and write down the important tips you learned so that the next time you go into an interview, you don't forget what you have learned.
I think I would expect them to have like read the job description and gotten insight from folks who are already doing the role, or myself as the hiring manager, so that they have some baseline knowledge of
The best thing to do before you have a job interview is to do some research on the company, so that when you meet someone from the company, you can give them some facts and let them know that you're really interested in that company. Also, what I've done before is to make a list of some of my accomplishments that I want to be sure to get across to the interviewer, and that way I won't forget them.
They should absolutely bring a notebook so that they can write down questions or quick thoughts as they're being asked questions, or they can write down responses to questions they're seeking answers to at the end of the interview. I think that's a personal style preference, but it certainly helps somebody to look prepared.
Well, you should always bring a resume with you. Sometimes the interviewer will ask you if you have any questions at the end of an interview, and you should always have questions prepared so you can have something to ask. It's important to be punctual to an interview and always be on time, and to be prepared when you go to the interview so you know where you're going, and you print out some directions if you search for the place online so you're prepared and you know you could be there on time. You should be there approximately 15 minutes before the interview.
I mean, I think the first impression is literally just how do they present themselves? How do they explain who they are? How do they introduce themselves? Are they warm? Are they interested in wanting to like learn more from you?
First impression is the most important thing. A firm handshake, always dress professionally. Always remember to turn your cell phone off. Those are the things that we look at first. Okay. And always make eye contact in an interview. That's very important.
I mean, I just think professional clothing. I think a lot of times folks wear suits. I think that's great. I don't think a suit is necessary, but something professional. I think for a guy, definitely a shirt and tie. If you have a suit, again, great. I think for females, a nice blouse and skirt, or blouse and pants, or a suit as well. I think just looking professional.
I would say also what you should make sure of your dress code when you go, even though, let's say, this company is pretty casual. Don't ever put on casual clothes, even though, let's say, the dress code of this company is not strict, because it doesn't give good impression to people. You know, if it's a guy, maybe a suit would be good, or if it's a lady, doesn't even have to be, you know, a skirt or anything, but just be classic style, you know, white short and, you know, classic pants or classic shoes, you know, things like that. I think that they do make a difference.